we understand the importance of early intervention in our children with autism. And the earlier we start to support them in their area of need, the better they turn out. We all know that whatever disorder or condition you find yourself, the earlier you start, the more successful you are likely to become. So like Maria said, it's important that we try as much as possible to introduce these children to the community early. We are blessed in Nigeria for that same reason, because we don't, well, in the recent past, we didn't used to keep our children in the home. We would take them out, we will introduce them to our family members, we'll go for parties, we'll go to social gatherings, and some of these strategies have helped, to support these children to gain some form of social independence. And the beauty of autism is that the more you introduce this child to strategies, so for instance, the child is on a playground, probably has some sensory dysfunction, maybe oversensitivity to sound, oversensitivity to too many people talking at the same time. His hearing does not shut down, so he keeps hearing everything. So in that regard, he decides to remove himself from that situation and isolates himself. So slowly you introduce him into the social gathering slowly. And by the time the system starts to tolerate some of these interactions, he begins to learn how to interact with other children in his own way. Same thing with speech and communication. You can teach it. You can help that child get to a stage where he begins to communicate. Like Mr. Charles said earlier, that we have regressive autism. We notice that when you start introduce the words to them, sometimes they need a little bit of one-on-one for you to take them out of certain group learning situations where you tackle their challenges one-on-one. They learn better in the one-on-one settings, and then you slowly introduce them back into the group where they will understand and generalize whatever you have taught in that regard. So it's important that we recognize what the challenge of that child is. We recognize the learning style of that child. Very, very vital, very important. We must know how he learns. We must not use the general way of teaching the child to bring that to the table for every child with autism. Remember, autism is a heterogeneous condition, meaning that the minute you have recognize one person with autism, your intervention must be tailored to that one person. You cannot generalize intervention when it comes to children with autism. So we need to know what the diagnosis is. We need to know what the learning style is. We need to know the environment also matters a lot. Where is this child learning? The people teach around that child. Do they understand the needs of that child? And how are they able to tailor the needs of that child into supporting that child? It's a very complex step, but it's not an impossible step.